worked hard, looked good. You know, they're just a function of getting through today's practice was a tough day out here today. So, but they fought and they challenged and they led. So very proud of them.
You expect them both to be available on Saturday?
I hope so.
You'd still consider them like questionable? Is that
them?
Yeah, both of them.
Well, no, just Malik's fine. Yeah. Brad is you know, we got to see how today's practice went. Yep.
Well, do you feel like, did you run the same offensive lineman the whole game, or did anybody switch in or out? And do you feel like that's the group?
Yeah, we do now. Yeah, we do. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Did you switch in anybody?
I don't remember anybody coming in. No, we graded the same 5 guys.
What'd you like about that group?
I thought they fought. You know, I thought they fought their tails off. I thought they brought a lot of energy. You know, every play is not perfect. Just as long as you give perfect effort, that's key to me.
So Malik was banged up early and sort of toughed it out. Is that accurate? I mean, just showing his toughness. Can you talk about that? Sort of what happened early on when he got banged up and what it shows about him?
Well, I think in the course of 4 quarters, you get hit a bunch.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just not early.
Oh, wasn't that one hit that knocked him out?
He wasn't. Yeah. He got knocked out for a play.
For the one play. That wasn't the one that really.
No, but he got hit several times in the game, and that's part of football, right? You know, you're back there with the football and you're it, right? Like playing tag. So when you throw it sometimes, and sometimes it's simultaneous, bang bang, you know, you're gonna get a couple hits, but you know, I think he toughed it through. He's a tough kid.
Was there ever a point where you thought Testaverde would have to come in?
Sure,
in that game?
Sure, and he was ready. He was ready to come in.
Talk about. I mean, I thought your play calling was great, just personally. I mean, cause you sort of let him get in, get him comfortable first, yeah. Right? I mean, that was by design, right?
Is that a first one for you? I'm just kidding. Yeah, I thought that he played well. You know,
but I'm talking about like you eased him in a little on purpose. I'm assuming, right? With the shorter passes, the quick pass, and then you go downfield, starting late in the first quarter.
Yeah, yeah. You know, we got him going in the game. You know, I thought that it was key for him to start off well. He definitely showed that as the game went on, his confidence grew. Just like anybody who hasn't played all year, you know, or starting off a game. But when his confidence grew, you can tell just by the way his interaction was on the sideline, and you can almost take the handcuffs off a little bit and let him play ball.
What about Joe, just to be able to run as hard as he did that night? How much did he need that maybe for his confidence after the past couple of weeks?
You know, he's a big confidence guy. You know, he's always comes up to me in the sideline and tells me it's time to run the ball. So, you know, so. No, but you know, there weren't big runs. There weren't runs that are 20 yards, but there were a bunch of 4 or 5 yard runs that were critical in drives. They were hard. They were hard. It's a physical game. That was a physical game.
The one play Malik was out, you brought in obviously Joe Yearby to run the Wildcat.
Correct.
I guess why not put in Vincent at that point?
Well, didn't want to burn his red shirt if we didn't have to. So we have, you know, there's a bunch of situations that we sit down as an offensive staff that we go over. Hey, if this happens, what do you do? You know, and I thought the smartest thing to do for Vincent's future was if he didn't have to come in and play the game, don't burn it on one play.
And Dallas is another guy you could do that with too, right?
Correct, yeah.
If you had to.
Correct.
Can you just talk about the development of those 2 guys, you know, Evan and Vincent? You know, what are you seeing? How far have they come? You know, obviously we don't get a chance to look at them.
You know, I thought last week both those guys competed really hard for the 2 spot, and Evan showed a lot. You know, he's come a long ways. Now he's been on the scout field. So Vincent has been ahead. But both those guys have threw the ball really well last week. And if something were to happen in that game and I had to put Evan in, then I know that he was ready also for that match and the game plan. But they all worked really hard. You know, I'm so proud of those kids, the whole quarterback room.
All right, last question,
like
guys.
Virginia, you know, 2 active guys, you know, that are big production. You know, the front 7. They also have a safety. Obviously, Quinn Blanding is highly recruited. What are the challenges of that defense?
They play really hard for 4 quarters. They're big, they're strong, and they're physical. And then when you add in the high motor because they play hard, that's a challenge. You know, Blandon is a talented player. The other guys are big and they're strong. So they want to get after you. They want to make it a street brawl. Their coordinator puts them in great position to make plays as well. So they pose a bunch of problems.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, guys.